a very fun compound cones gameplay idea for you. Remember, there's also extra things like the success poster you could take a picture with after you've finished the game. There's also the game board that you can use for other games, not this gameplay, but for others. I am going to teach you how to play spoons with compound cones. Now, this will be a little bit different than the usual variation of spoons. In spoons card game, usually once one person grabs a spoon, everyone else rushes to grab a spoon. You can do it that way if you would like to, and have once one student grabs like a 6/8 spoon, everyone has to realize what spoon they grabbed and grabbed it accordingly. Or the way I think would work better is if you have each student grab the spoon when they've collected their cards. So the way this works is everyone's gonna sit in a circle. If I had more people with me, I would totally demonstrate, but it's just me, so I cannot demonstrate this with you. You're going to deal each player 3 cards. And they're going to hold them in their hand like so. And what happens is with spoons, you grab a card and you decide which cards you're going to keep and which card you're going to discard. So you grab a card. The first person who starts it off has the whole deck of cards. Now for this, I am using the simpler cards, but you could also, if you have more upper level students, use the cherry cards, which are more complicated rhythms. These are all the 7/8 meters as well as more complicated 8th note rest and note patterns. But I'm using the simple ones, and there's plenty of cards for this for 2 or 3 students to play. So the person who starts off has the deck of cards. They pick a card, and then they choose which one to discard. Now in this case, we're definitely gonna go for 6/8 because now we got 2 6/8 cards. We would place it down here. Now the person who sat right here would pick up this card, compare it with the cards in their hand. Do they want to keep it or not? And then they would lay down the card they don't want to keep for the next person to pick up, and it keeps on going in that circle. And it's a speed game. You want to go as fast as possible. Okay, now here it's like, oh, do I want to still keep going for the 6/8 or do I want to go for the 9/8? I'm going to keep going for the 6/8. Good choice. All right, so this just happens to be all identical. You do not have to get them all identical. They just all have to be 6/8. And then I would grab a 6/8 spoon and the gameplay would keep going. So I would have 3 more cards. And if it's someone who's sitting like right there, if you see how these pile up, they will have more than enough cards if they get rid of theirs to replenish them. So there's the 6/8 and then 9/8. So we're definitely gonna go for the 9/8. I did that wrong. All right, I accidentally discarded where I had 2 cards instead of 3 in my hand. That's not how it's supposed to go. And I'm looking for a 9/8 measure. So then basically you can play faster because you're like, okay, I know that's not 9/8. I know that's not 9/8. And apparently I got my cards mixed up. So there's none left. But what would happen is the pile would make it all the way around the board, and when this person discards, if they're empty here, they would just take that discard pile and keep going. I'm gonna mix these up because I was not planning on it doing this way, but hopefully this is not confusing you. So yeah, so the cards, they're going across the board and all of that, and I'm still trying to find my 9/8 measure. There it is. Oh wait, that's not right because it's a middle, bottom. Okay, so I still don't have it. Okay, still middles and bottoms. So yeah, it requires a little bit of thinking when you do this. I wonder if I got my cards mixed up and I don't actually have a top here. I might not actually have grabbed a top. All right, so we're gonna pretend I'm not cheating and grabbing a card on the side. So here I actually have a 9/8 top, middle, bottom, and I would grab a 9/8 spoon and then keep going. So the reason that did not work out was because I miscounted the cards that I had in here and I did not get enough. So you can make sure before you start you actually have 3 of every meter. But it keeps going until all the cards are run out. And then you count and see who collected the most spoons. So it's actually a spoons alternative game. But this one would be so much fun to play with your students. They would have to think fast. And you can play it with a mix of faster and slower students, but they definitely have to be able to detect, okay, did they get it right? And then they have to prove that they got it right. And then if they got it wrong, they lose that spoon. So if for some reason I had not gotten this correct and it was like a 6-8 and 9-8 and 6-8, then I would forfeit my spoon. Okay, and then whoever has the most spoons in the end wins. So this is a really fun game, and if you play it with your students, I want to hear, because I loved playing spoons growing up, and I just think this would be so much fun to play in a studio. I just teach online, so I don't have the capability of doing that. So if you do, please share it on social media and tag us at Music Game Club at Instagram or Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and we would love to see you and your students playing compound cones. Have fun, and